The city sleeps, but some legends never die. They whisper in the dark, calling out to the brave, or maybe just the foolish. Tonight, one of those whispers has found Alex. He's always been the one to push the limits, the one who scoffs at ghost stories. But the old St. Jude's Hospital, abandoned for 50 years, has a reputation that even he can't ignore. They say no one who enters after dark ever comes out the same. As he slips through a gap in the chain-link fence, the moon hiding behind a thick blanket of clouds, the beam of his flashlight dances across peeling paint, rusted gurneys, and patient files scattered like autumn leaves. It's just an old, derelict building, he tells himself, but his heart is pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Then he hears it, a soft, faint whisper like wind through a keyhole, but there's no wind in here. It seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. He freezes, straining to listen. Nothing. Just the sound of his own ragged breathing. He forces a laugh, a weak, shaky sound that's swallowed by the darkness. It's just his imagination, playing tricks on him. He pushes forward, deeper into the hospital's decaying heart. He moves down a long, dark corridor. Doors hang ajar on either side, leading into rooms filled with shadows. A distant door creaks, slow and deliberate. Alex spins around, his light cutting through the gloom. The hallway behind him is empty, but he knows what he heard. He walks faster now, his initial bravado melting away into a cold, creeping dread. He passes a child's ward, a single overturned wheelchair sitting in the center of the room. A small, tattered teddy bear lies on the floor beside it, its button eyes seeming to watch him. The sight sends a shiver down his spine. Further on, he finds a room filled with old medical equipment, all of it covered in a thick layer of dust and rust. Something glints in the beam of his light. He steps closer and sees sinister, dark stains splattered across the wall, looking disturbingly fresh. His stomach churns. What happened in this place? The paranormal activity starts to escalate. It's no longer just whispers and creaks. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees a shadow detach from the wall and glide silently into another room. His blood runs cold. He whips his head around, but there's nothing there. Was it a trick of the light? He's not so sure anymore. He backs away slowly, his eyes darting into every dark corner. Suddenly, a door down the hall slams shut with a deafening bang that echoes through the entire building. Alex jumps, a cry escaping his lips. He's panting now, his mind racing. This isn't just his imagination. Something is in here with him. Every instinct is screaming at him to run, to get out, but a morbid curiosity, a need to know the truth, keeps him rooted to the spot. He has to see this through. He has to know what haunts St. Jude's. He feels drawn towards a specific part of the hospital, a wing he knows was once the surgical ward. The air grows colder here, the sense of dread more potent. He finds his way to what must have been the main operating theater. The room is dominated by a large, rust-stained operating table in the center. Glass cabinets line the walls, filled with surgical instruments that gleam menacingly in his flashlight beam. The smell of antiseptic and something else, something metallic and coppery, still hangs faintly in the air. On a small desk in the corner, he spots a leather-bound book. It's a diary. Wiping away a thick layer of dust, he opens it. As Alex reads, a story of madness and horror unfolds. The diary entries begin normally, documenting routine procedures. But soon, the tone shifts. The handwriting inside is frantic, spidery. It's the journal of a surgeon, a Dr. Alistair Blackwood. Dr. Blackwood writes of his frustration with the limitations of medicine, his obsession with conquering death itself. The entries become more and more unhinged. He describes unsanctioned experiments, horrific procedures performed on patients in the dead of night. He writes of trying to sever the soul from the flesh, of seeking immortality through forbidden science. Alex's hands tremble as he reads the final, chilling entry. I have failed, but my work is not over. This place will be my laboratory forever. My subjects will never leave. A cold sweat breaks out on Alex's forehead. He looks up from the diary, his eyes scanning the dark corners of the operating room. He has a terrifying, gut-wrenching feeling that he is no longer alone. The room, which was dead silent moments before, is now filled with a low, guttural humming. The air temperature plummets. Alex can see his own breath fogging in front of him. He slowly raises his flashlight, his hand shaking uncontrollably. The beam lands on the far side of the room. A tall, gaunt figure is standing there, half hidden in the shadows. It's wearing the tattered remains of a surgeon's gown. Its face is a pale, twisted mask of fury and madness. It's him. It's Dr. Blackwood. Alex is paralyzed by fear, his feet glued to the floor. As the ghostly figure takes a shuffling step forward, the glass cabinets behind it begin to rattle violently. The surgical instruments inside clatter against the glass, a symphony of terror. Scalpels, saws, and clamps vibrate as if held by unseen hands. The surgeon's ghost raises a spectral hand and points directly at Alex, its mouth opening in a silent, agonizing scream. That silent scream shatters Alex's paralysis. Pure, unadulterated terror floods his system, and he finally finds his legs. He drops the diary and sprints out of the operating room, not daring to look back. He can hear the rattling of instruments growing louder, closer, as if they're chasing him. He hears the phantom footsteps of the surgeon echoing behind him, a relentless, shuffling pursuit. He crashes through doors, stumbles over debris, his only thought to escape the suffocating walls of St. Jude's. The hospital seems to have come alive around him, the corridors twisting and changing, trying to trap him within their maze. Whispers claw at his ears, ghostly faces flash in his peripheral vision, and doors slam in his path. He runs for his life, fueled by an adrenaline he's never known before. He finally sees it, the faint, gray light of the outside world filtering through the main entrance. With a final desperate burst of energy, he throws himself at the heavy doors, bursting out into the pre-dawn air. He doesn't stop running. He sprints across the overgrown lawn, vaults the fence without a second thought, and doesn't look back until the terrifying silhouette of the hospital is a distant shape against the lightning sky. He collapses on the pavement, gasping for air, his body trembling, his mind reeling. He survived. He actually made it out. He slowly gets to his feet, shaky and disoriented. As he starts the long walk home, he shoves his cold hands into his jacket pockets for warmth. His fingers close around something small, cold, and metallic. He pulls it out, his heart stopping in his chest. In the palm of his hand, glinting in the first light of dawn, is an old, rust-flecked scalpel. He doesn't remember picking it up. He must have grabbed it in his panic, an unconscious souvenir from his flight. As he stares at the cursed object, a faint, cold whisper echoes in his mind, the same whisper from the hospital corridors. It's the voice of Dr. Blackwood, and it says, "My work is not over." Alex looks back toward the distant hospital, a new wave of horror washing over him. He escaped St. Jude's, but he didn't escape the surgeon. The horror has followed him home. And this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching, and if you love stories that will keep you up at night, make sure to subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.